Coming up on CinemaKC, we take you behind the camera, interviewing the hottest filmmakers in town. I'm Michelle Davidson.
And I'm Erin McGrane. And today we're going to take you behind the scenes to the magical and moving opening of the Kaufman Performing Arts Center.
And an experience that truly has heart. CinemaKC starts now. Welcome to CinemaKC, your personal film festival. We have a very exciting show today with the creative minds at T2 and Back Alley Films. Welcome, you guys.
Thank
we
you.
have Teri Rogers, Claudia Chagui, did I pronounce it right? And Garrett Fuselier.
Yep.
Well, you guys, it's really a team effort, but you have been working a lot with commercials and web content, but you've ventured into new territory. Tell us about that, Teri.
Well, we've always been a very design-focused production company, but about 3 years ago, we really decided that we wanted to take it to the next level. So
And boy, have you.
And we brought in an interactive and experiential design group, a team, and they joined our design team, and we did the Kaufman Center for the Performing Arts grand opening, and it was a year-long.
Amazing experience. Do you want to take a look at it?
Yeah.
Let's take a look. Here's the Kaufman grand opening. Wow. Now they say film is a collaborative medium. That took a lot of people to put that on. How many people are we talking about working on this project?
Well, the cool thing about it is that everybody, not just these guys were sort of the brilliant minds behind she was lead design, he was lead interactive programming developer, but it was, the whole company was involved.
We actually shot it, it was an in-house shoot, so we had everyone from production to post-production, to design, to interactive. The actual particles you saw flowing next to the video were made. Every single person in the building touched the project, which is an amazing way to collaborate when all different areas of design come together to form one.
How many
piece.
projectors did you use?
There were actually 20 projectors in the space itself, and then 4 huge projectors outside on the building that are projecting onto the building itself.
How do you prepare? Like, would you have a test drive for that? I mean,
You
several?
test as much as possible in-house. You know, I mean, you do it on TV monitors and everything, but there's nothing that you can compare to the actual moment of being there. And when you're actually there and actually seeing it, that's when all the magic and the surprise actually happens.
It's really scary too, when
And rewarding.
It's rewarding. But these guys are always doing things that no one's ever done before. So when that happens, it becomes very, you know, let me just say I didn't enjoy the concert that much.
What was the response like?
It was amazing. I think everyone was surprised in the beginning, you know, in the shoot. We had amazing performers that were very talented. Just watching this slow motion video play back on the monitors was amazing. And just being there that night, Garrett and I were kind of walking around the room just to make sure that everything was playing right. And we were disguised in between the crowd, you know, and we kept hearing people, who did this? How is this happening?
Well,
you know, they couldn't figure out where it was coming from or
And we wanted to inspire people. That was the most important part, was just that we wanted people to remember that exact night for the rest of their lives. And inspiring people, when we got there, we were actually inspired ourselves, even though we've been working on it for an entire year.
Wow.
And just seeing it at that scale. So
Truly
we knew it worked
inspiring.
in some degree.
as much as a surprise for us as it was for everyone else.
Well, we'll have more with you guys coming up on CinemaKC.
T2 has an office here in the Crossroads District at 19th and Wyandotte in what used to be the old Manly Popcorn Building. This is where they made those great big red popcorn machines that you see in movie theaters all over the country. You're watching CinemaKC. Welcome back to CinemaKC. We're here with Garrett Fuselier. All right, Garrett, so let's go back to the beginning. One of T2's very first experiential large-scale film projects was a massacre on First Fridays in the Crossroads District. So what happened that night?
Well, we actually wanted to create an experience for people that we didn't promote or didn't tell anyone. And it was actually the very first Friday in Halloween for October. So we projected onto the top windows of our building the silhouettes of these people having this party, essentially. But slowly, one by one, they started getting picked off into a massacre. And
You killed them?
We killed them, yeah. It was silhouettes of people being murdered. And so, but slowly, we would actually stop the film and actually ask the audience, would you rather kill or save this person? So it's kind of an interesting social experiment to see how people would react if they were just to shout out, kill him or save him. And most of the time, you know, they died. Everyone got murdered, but a lot of the time, too, they got saved. But it was kind of awesome to see how people would react if you didn't actually promote or tell anyone that it was going to happen.
So people were just discovering it as it was happening?
Exactly,
They were
right.
watching this side of the
Right.
building and seeing it happen. So what were people saying? Were you listening to the reaction down there?
Exactly. That's how it worked, is it had to be tied to a computer, and I was sitting back there pressing different buttons on a keyboard depending on how people were reacting. So if people were screaming or getting excited, I had to play a different clip or play a different response.
That's amazing. And so you got some national attention with a National Gold Addy. Congratulations on that. And I see that you're also continuing to make some other large-scale interactive art pieces, like Art of the Heart.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at that right now.
Sure.
Let's take a look at Art of the Heart. Wow, what a cool project. How did T2 get involved with this project?
Well, we were working with a major hospital. It was actually more of an advertising piece for them specifically, but we wanted to, it was a cardiology center.
Yeah.
And we wanted to have people feel like they're actually taking care of something, similar to how, cardiology center and doctors would take care of patients and heart patients. So we wanted people to feel like they're actually paying attention to something and caring for it specifically.
Trying to inspire them to
Right.
care about it and take care. That's great. I love that this encourages people to make the art interactively. What kind of response was it for the people that were participating?
Well,
in it?
they loved it. And we used the Kinect, Microsoft Kinect software, and we actually hacked a Kinect
Wow.
to do it. But it was mainly targeted towards older individuals. And so we didn't want anything, they had to touch anything. All they had to do was just wave their hands, and there's no technology they actually have to interface with at all. It's magic, essentially, to them at that point.
And where did this idea come from? How did you come up with it?
It just came up in a brainstorming kind of meeting, but it was something that we wanted to do, and we figured out who we were trying to talk to.
It's really great. What other kinds of projects are you working on? Are you continuing to work on other large-scale interactive
Yeah, actually right now we're
projects?
working on a fashion show. It's going to be in the Kauffman Center, we're really excited about. But we're totally transforming the whole fashion show experience that you're used to anytime you go to a fashion show, and presenting it in a whole new way and kind of turning on its head.
Will this be interactive as well?
It'll be more immersive. It's the same thing, but as the Kauffman Center project. But
Well, fantastic. I can't wait to see whatever you guys are working on because it's really amazing stuff. Thank you very much. We'll be back with CinemaKC.
Here at the intersection of 18th and Wyandotte was ground zero for Kansas City's Film Row. Every major studio, MGM, Fox, Warner Brothers, Paramount, Universal, Columbia, and Disney, all had offices here from the 1920s up to the 1980s. You're watching CinemaKC. CinemaKC is a television show made entirely by volunteers. We all work for free because we want to put Kansas City filmmakers in the spotlight. People and production companies come together to support and strengthen our film community. So we're grateful to all of our partners, including Outpost and T2, for their generous donation of time and talent. You're watching CinemaKC. Welcome back to CinemaKC. And Teri, you wanted to talk a little bit more about the Art of the Heart project.
I just really wanted to mention that it was such a wonderful project because we were able to collaborate with one of our commercial agencies, Muller, Bressler, Brown, on that project. And when you get to brainstorm with an agency like that, and then it grows into a relationship where they get to see a whole different side of us, you know, as a company.
Great. Well, let's take a look at another T2 project, The Next American Dream.
In the beginning, everything was proximity to downtown.
Everybody would be dressed up because that was an occasion to go downtown.
It was the place to be. It was the energy of a very growing city.
$15 million GIs came back from the war, clamoring for new homes and a piece of land in the country. Almost overnight, suburbia was born.
There was a whole new idea about American communities.
You could live in the country and drive to your job downtown, and you'd have the best of two worlds.
That dream was attached to a lot of unintended consequences that we had no idea about.
We have expanded the size of our metropolitan areas just dramatically.
This thinking separated us conceptually from nature.
We're overbuilt today in the number of large lot homes than will be needed in 2040.
We want to live in a walkable place.
We have to remember people are social creatures.
The great ideas, great culture, great books, scientific inventions have occurred in urban environments.
Nothing was happening in downtown Kansas City.
Our downtown had been neglected for decades.
The only question was, do we have the will to rebuild it?
Now that was just a tease, a trailer of the documentary. Where can people see the full-length film?
Well, it's aired on PBS stations all over the country, but right now, if you wanted to see it, you could go to thenextamericandream.com, and it is in its entirety there.
Great. What was the impetus to create this film?
Well, actually, the impetus was when they started tearing down Kansas City's downtown, and I ended up having a conversation with John Altman and Amy Larrabee at Inland Sea. And they wanted to, explore the idea of a documentary. So we started talking about it, and ultimately we co-produced it. And the idea was that we were going to use Kansas City more as the petri dish for the bigger national issue of why cities are rebuilding themselves all over the country, what really caused cities to fall apart, and what is bringing them back. So
something you're obviously passionate about. Let's take a look at some of your other work. There are so many great pieces there. Now, do you have to be creative or inventive to sustain a strong production company in Kansas City?
Well, I think that mostly you have to be flexible, but you also have to be able to find and maintain really good talent, because that's what it all depends on.
Like Claudia and Garrett, who
yes,
met
to
earlier.
name two. Yes.
So what's next for T2?
Well, we are continuing to just go and expand our service offering, and one is entertainment. And we have a new guy on staff that is just back from 15 years in LA, and he is pitching television shows. So we're having fun kind of looking at all the options that entertainment might have, in store for us.
Lots of fun ahead.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with more CinemaKC.
On Kansas City's Walk of Stars, you'll find brass stars commemorating some of Kansas City's most famous actors and directors, like Robert Altman. He directed MASH and Nashville and many other wonderful films, but he got his start making industrial films right here in Kansas City. You're watching CinemaKC.
The open of our show, CinemaKC, is more than just an open. It's a piece of art created by T2. Let's take a look.
Wow, no matter how many times I see that, it's still amazing. Tell us about the inspiration for making this beautiful 30-second film that's the opening segment of our show.
Well, we were so excited when we heard about it because it's what this show represents. The show represents artists and their passion and their commitment to their work, laboring over this work and then spreading it to the world. We found a correlation in nature with dandelions and how they're in a bed of land and the wind just takes them and blows them wherever it blows and spreads them out. So we thought, you know, what a cool thing would be to just take this dandelion looking thing and have it represent the artistry of this filmmakers and then have it spread to the world in a bed of the CinemaKC logo. So that's
What's your background? How did you come to be able to create these kind of things?
Well, I love dance and I love visuals. So every time I would make paintings, I went to the Kansas State Art Institute for painting. But my teachers and my peers said, you know, there's just so much movement in your still paintings. Why don't you try a film class or a motion class? And I took their advice and I did. And once I took the first class, I just said, please, just let me transfer. And I've been doing motion ever since, and I would never go back.
And we're also very glad that you did.
Yeah, definitely. And you've gotten some attention for the work that you have been doing.
Yes, we got a Gold Daddy for the cinema and
And we got several Gold Daddies for Kaufman that you saw earlier in the show, plus Best of Show. So that was a really big honor, and we were very happy. We're getting lots of press, so it's good.
Wow. Congratulations, and thank you so much for all the work that you do.
And we appreciate your commitment to CinemaKC as well, so thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks for watching CinemaKC. We'll see you next time.